Now, let's talk about seat belts. Let's talk about Arrive Alive campaign in joint collaboration with the Road Safety Authority. Now, driver belt use was 33.2% for private cars, 9.0% for taxis, 8.3% for mini bus, that's the trotro, 13.1% for large buses, and 9.7% for trucks. That's a very low figure that's using seat belts, and we know that seat belts in or during accident could save your life when you can't do anything about the incident. Let's talk about the usefulness of it and why not many people seem to be using it. Mr. Henry Asumani, a senior manager planning and program with the National Road Safety Authority. He joins us for a conversation. A very good morning to you, Mr. Asumani. Thanks for your time this morning.
Good morning, madam.
Great. So why do we, even though we know that seat belts help and they can save you in an accident, why is it that people are not comfortable using it and the percentages are still very low?
Okay, good morning once again, and I'll say good morning to all our viewers and listeners. Thank you very much. Yes, it is very true that on the whole, although seat belt usage has gone up a couple of years, it is still low because it hasn't reached the desired level yet, where we would expect that everybody would wear the seatbelt. Some of the reasons why people give, why they don't wear seatbelts is very strange. Someone may just tell you that, oh, I'm just going around the corner, I'm not going very far away from where I am moving from. Someone might also just tell you, oh, I'm just getting to the house, I'm almost in my house. Some people will say it gets uncomfortable because when they wear it, they feel very uncomfortable. Some may also say it's afraid that in case of any accident, you get trapped in the seatbelt. But all these reasons cannot be given because why you won't wear the seatbelt, because the seatbelt is a protective equipment that was installed in the vehicle to save you. Now let's listen to those who say it's a short distance. I'm just going around the corner, I'm just getting to my house, it's a short distance. A crash or an accident could happen anywhere. It could even happen in front of your gate when you are moving out of your gate. And the mechanism in the vehicle that can save you, the human being in the vehicle, one of them is a seatbelt. The seatbelt is made such that it restrains you on your feet. Because as the vehicle is moving, let's say the vehicle is moving at 60 kilometers per hour, it means that you as a human being in the vehicle, you are also moving at 60 kilometers per hour. The vehicle has a mechanism to stop, that is the brake. So let's say if something happens in front of you and you need to apply the brake instantly and you are driving about 80 kilometers per hour, when you do that, the vehicle may stop, but you will still be moving. So how do you stop? And that is where you see people bracing their hands on the steering to also lay back on the in the seat if they are not wearing the seatbelt. But what if it wasn't that something happened and you saw it, you didn't see it, and then you crashed into it? Because that one, it means that you are not prepared to even breathe. So when that crash happens, you could be thrown out of the vehicle. Sometimes you see that an accident will happen. The person may not have died, but because the person's head hit the windscreen, that is how come he has severe injuries or he died. So that the seatbelt will restrain you from going out and hitting your head on the windscreen. Some people also say, I have the airbag. So when anything happens, the airbag will come out and save you. The airbag complements the seatbelt. Without the seatbelt, the airbag itself can kill you because the force that the airbag comes out, if you are not restrained and you are just going forward and to hit you, can dislocate your neck because it will hit you from your upper section. So these reasons that people give are not good because when you are involved in any crash, it is the safest place to be when you are involved in a crash, especially when the vehicle is somersaulting. It's the vehicle inside the vehicle. I can give a typical example, I'm sorry to bring this up. I'm sure I would be saying things that people have tried very much to forget about. But let's take a typical accident like the one that involved Susie Williams. They were two in the vehicle. The vehicle somersaulted twice. Susie Williams was thrown out of the vehicle, and the vehicle passed on her. That is how come she died. The driver was in his seatbelt, and he did not. He even came out.
Hello, Henry.
But he wasn't.
Okay, can you reposition yourself because the line suddenly just went bad? And if you can just go back a little bit, you are using the Susie Williams example.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I was saying that the incident that involved Susie Williams some time back, where the vehicle somersaulted twice, you realize that there were two people in the vehicle, Susie Williams and then the driver of the vehicle. The driver of the vehicle was in his seatbelt, so he wasn't thrown out of the vehicle. Susie Williams was thrown out of the vehicle. And then the vehicle, as it was going around, somersaulting passed on her, and that is how come he died. The driver who was in his seatbelt sustained minor injuries. He crawled out of the vehicle and was even able to stand up before they came away to the hospital. So the seatbelt is a safety equipment in the vehicle that should save you. Now, there's a perception also that when I'm sitting in the back seat, I decided to finish what happens to me. But when you are in the back seat, let's say sitting behind the driver, and you are not wearing your seatbelt, you become even a danger to the driver who is wearing his seatbelt. Because if a crash happens and then the driver is restrained by his seatbelt, you may crash into his seat, and depending on the momentum, you may crash into it to push him to the windscreen or out of the vehicle. We say that the seatbelt is one of the most safety equipment in the vehicle that we should wear at all times. I even say that sometimes, sometimes you may be in your house, but your car is outside. In the evening, you want to bring it inside, or you want to park it in the garage. I even say that at that moment, so strap on your seatbelt before you enter the garage or enter your house. I always say that as soon as you sit in the vehicle and you put on the ignition, the next thing for you to do is to put on your seatbelt before you move. Okay. And that is something that would help us. That was something that would save us. It's something that would keep us alive.
Great. So as you put the spotlight this week on seatbelts, what interventions are you making? What exactly are you doing on the ground? Okay, thank you very much. We have an outreach team who are also going around, and they're also preaching about seatbelts. Although they add other things, the predominant subject that they are talking about is seatbelts. And the police at junctions, they are not on the road, but they are junctions, directed traffic and those things. When they see you, they advise you to strap on your seatbelt. What we have realized is that most people have their seatbelts strapped already. So when they are approaching a junction or they are approaching where they see a police officer, where they see a road safety officer, where they see a citizen, they just bring the top onto across their chest to signify that they are wearing the seat. But the seatbelt, when you wear it that way, becomes ineffective because the seatbelt decides that the upper part holds your body and the down part prevents you from moving forward. So if the down part is not there, the one that's supposed to be on your hip bone, if it's not there, the likelihood that you can slip under the upper part when a crash happens is very high. So we advise that, please. I always use myself as an example. Growing up, I wasn't really used to seatbelts. When you're a kid and you're in a vehicle, you like to move around. So I wasn't really used to seatbelt. Now, when I started driving, I felt very uncomfortable when I wore the seatbelt. Anytime I wore the seatbelt, I felt very uncomfortable. But my dad used to push me to be always wearing the seatbelt. So I started wearing it. Whether it was comfortable or not, I started wearing it. And I can tell you that now, when I sit in the vehicle
and I don't wear a seatbelt, I feel very uncomfortable. So the comfortability aspect, it is about starting, doing it. You start, and I assure you that if you do it continuously for a month or two, it becomes very comfortable. Now it becomes really uncomfortable when you don't wear it, like my situation now. Now I can't sit in a vehicle, I cannot drive a vehicle without a seatbelt because I will feel very uncomfortable to where I get. So even if I pick a commercial vehicle every time, I ask the driver, please, is the seatbelt working? Then he will say yes. Okay, then if I have to clean it, I clean it, and I wear it. Sometimes I wear it, and I'll be looking at him. If he's not wearing it, he'll smile, and then he'll wear it. It's something that is a culture we should build. And when we build that culture, we will see that even when you're in a vehicle and you're wearing your seatbelt, when you're driving and you're wearing your seatbelt, you feel more confident than if you're not wearing the seatbelt because it keeps you alert. It makes you alert on the road.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're doing this with the police MTTD?
Yes, we are doing this with the police MTTD.
But you're not arresting. You're not arresting. You're not arresting. Okay.
Education.
Okay.
They are educating for now. They are not arresting for people.
Okay. All right. Is that the most effective way, do you think?
We think that we want to change attitudes. We want to change attitudes through education. And so sensitizing. So right now what we are doing is that we are educating the public. We are giving you the pros and cons of wearing a seatbelt. If you are not wearing a seatbelt, we will talk to you and let you appreciate why the seatbelt is there.
Okay. All right.
After some time, I was doing this education. It will get to a phase that we will be doing it possible. But for now, our priority is to let you understand why you should wear the seatbelt, let you appreciate the work of the seatbelt, and let you appreciate why it was installed in the vehicle. So
okay. Okay, great. So, you put the spotlight on another issue next week. Maybe I can join you as you do the education on the ground.
Hold on, please, I didn't get you.
Okay, no. So I was saying that every week you put the spotlight on an aspect of road safety. This week you're doing seatbelts. So hopefully next week I could join you on the ground as you do the education. I guess it will also help our viewers.
Yes.
Okay.
Just let me know when you intend to come. I will go with you personally to the field. And then we can even talk to some of the drivers and passengers we are engaged.
Okay. All right, Henry. We have a deal. Thank you very much. We want to reduce the accidents on our roads, especially as we approach Christmas. That's Henry Asomene with the National Road Safety Authority. Our Arrive Alive campaign, the conversation we just had, is brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority and supported by Toyota Ghana and the JoyNews Drive Safe campaign.